Though its monkey ear may have changed, Suzuki's SFV650 has been a staple motorcycle in the Japanese company's lineup. Wearing a tried and true 645cc liquid-cooled V-twin inside a simple but effective lipstick red tubular steel chassis, the feisty SFV is a great solution for riders looking for a fun and affordable street bike. Alright, the Suzuki SFV. This motorcycle is probably the most versatile off the showroom floor. Yeah, it's a little bit old now. Yeah, it's a little bit dated in terms of its appearance and its instrument cluster, and even the way that its ergonomics are set up. The thing just plain works. I just like how easy it is to ride. It's a really friendly motorcycle.
Out of all the bikes, the Suzuki had the most cramped cockpit. You know, the bar is kind of swept into your lap. You know, you feel like you had to hunch over to really get into the sweet spot of the bike.
But I like it. Like, it kind of feels like a mini bike in the way that it's so maneuverable and so like easy and fun and carefree to ride.
I think it'd be a great bike for some smaller riders that want a more comfortable lower seating position, but it was actually pretty fun to have something that was light and kind of brought me back to what I originally started riding when I was road racing.
Probably the weak link in the SFV's arsenal is just its engine. It's not necessarily bad by any means, but it's a little bit outgunned compared to the Monster or the newly designed FZ07.
But that could be a good thing. You know, not having enough horsepower lets you really get into the motor and really rev it out, and not having enough power might not be such a bad thing for, somebody looking to get into one of these bikes that doesn't really know what they're doing.
Handling wise of the three, the Suzuki actually was probably, I would say, overall the best handling. It was supple, it wouldn't bite you if you gave it a little bit too much feedback, and it actually felt overall pretty good.
It was probably the best cornering of all of them. It felt really connected to the ground. You were able to put the bike where you wanted to, and I was most confident on the bike through the corners.
I love the clutch on it. I like the transmission. It really feels precise when you're changing between the gears.
The brakes could use a little bit of an update on that motorcycle. I think it's a very awesome workhorse of an entry-level twin that would be great for someone that's looking for something that has that sporty confidence feel they're looking for, but still wants something that's going to be able to handle, taking it to work or also taking it to the canyons. It's kind of has a good middle ground.
Even though I'm not totally sold on the way it looks, it just works so well that it definitely would be a serious contender for my money.
One thing I did like about it, it was the only bike in the test that still has an analog tack. And I'm a huge fan of digital gauges as a whole, but the analog tack, I really like to be able to visibly see where it's at on the RPM range instead of trying to read the little data bars.
It's a really, really excellent handling motorcycle. Like, it goes around turns good. It's easy to maneuver in like a parking lot.
I think it has enough confidence for an entry-level rider or an upper-level rider to have a good time in it, both in the canyons or on the way to work.
Like always, the Suzuki excites with its fun and flexible handling that's as adept around town as it is at a sport pace in the canyons. Although its fuel-sipping twin is a little dated, it continues to entertain with its peppy feel and superb throttle response. While we loved riding it, mid-pack scores in all but 2 categories pushed the aging Suzuki back to 3rd place.